Hola, ¿cómo va? Nos estamos reencontrando en Zona Infinito. Y el tema será no el cuerpo, pero sí sus energías. Y el Tao curativo. El Tao curativo en Zona Infinito. Ahí va. Hace unos días la producción me acercó algunos datos del Tao curativo. Y en esto de ignorar algunos temas puntuales, me habían comentado que Don Diana de este tema sabía. Gracias por acompañarme. Sí. ¿De qué se trata?
Yeah. The healing Tao is about a healing system that has existed in China for some say 5,000 years. And the system involves the understanding of nature and the understanding of change, and probably the most important aspect that came out of it was the understanding that we're all made up of energy. So the system of healing is involved with how can one continually keep energy going through the body. And if you can stay energized, then you can also stay healthy. So the Chinese developed the system of using energy, which they called qi. So it's a system of how to continually allow this qi or energy to move through the body.
Si nuestro cuerpo es como un mapa, y en estos meridianos hay energía, tracemos un mapa imaginario por donde pasan esos ejes.
Okay. In general, they move from the very, very top of the head, which they call, this is like the North Pole. And from the North Pole, they go down to the coccyx area, which is the South Pole, and then they continue down to the bottom of the feet. So it's very similar to the body being like the Earth. You have a North and a South Pole, and the meridians then travel throughout the body. So the idea is if you continually draw energy up from the Earth and also up down from heaven, then the body stays charged. So we're considered like an entity or a being that is in the middle of heaven and earth. So we need heaven and we need the earth energy to stay healthy.
Cuando uno habla de este polo, que es la mente, la cabeza, uno piensa en meditación. Yo tengo que encontrar energía a través de la meditación. Y así puedo encontrar mi energía. Si yo medito, me concentro, o simplemente a través de mis actos.
Yeah, that's a very good question. When you point here, the Taoist would say that's not correct. So from that point of view, they would point here. And they say that this is the center. And they actually say that this is a brain. And that this brain has to be developed first. So it's the body brain. So in meditation, we're actually trying to get back into the body. So this brain has actually been distorted through education, socialization, and a lot of different concepts and beliefs that don't necessarily have to do with healing. So we're first concerned with meditation in the Taoist system about developing this center as the brain.
Usted marcó otro meridiano que tiene que ver con el coxis. Y en ese coxis también, en ese meridiano, se encierra lo genital y en consecuencia lo sexual. ¿Cuándo tiene que ver? Ese punto dentro de la energía general.
Okay, that's a very, very important point because from the Taoist system, sexual energy is extremely important because we came from sex. We came from the sexual energy of our parents, of the egg and the sperm coming together. So this is really our initial charge. And so what we need to do in this life is to continually develop this initial charge, which is our sexual energy, and actually use this energy to bring it up through the body. So when you speak about the coccyx, this energy, when it's developed, would continue to move up the spine, and this is the energy that is going to fill the mind with the correct kind of energy. And this energy can heal the mind.
Ayer yo estaba tomando mi clase de saxo con respecto de Clinton y con usted, Diana. Y mi maestro me decía, yo soy muy expresivo con las manos, decía, toda esa energía, concentrala en tus dedos, en tu aire y en la nota musical. No es necesario, el tema es concentrar energía, en el estado curativo también, concentrar energía en un punto, como si fuera un enchufe de electricidad, un toma corriente de electricidad, buscar en un punto la energía.
They make a separation between the mind and the feelings. The mind needs to be very, very focused, and we know that because in order to do anything well, the mind has to have almost like a laser focus. So you and I have to be very focused. But we have feelings, on the other hand, that can simultaneously be aware of many, many things. So we need the focus of the mind, but we also need the feelings that can then be aware of thousands of things. So we always need to just not be mind, but to get in touch with feelings. So the Taoists would say that the feeling center would be the heart. So you need the focus of the mind, but then you need the openness of the heart, and then these have to be connected to the body. So now we're a balanced person. We're in the body, we're connected to the heart, but the mind can be very clear and very focused. What they say is that when you have those three centers connected, then you're a whole person. And then what can happen is that when these three centers are connected, you can hook up to what they say is like a higher kind of energy, or the Tao. So now you can bring in an energy which some would call spirit.
Hablan de curación, entonces yo puedo decir, ¿el Tao curativo es medicina?
It is. And this was something that's very unique to this particular system because it's medicine based on energy. So if you want to heal yourself, you have to find the correct energy to heal a particular illness. So in the old days, when they translated the text, they would say that it was considered the magic pill, or the magic pill of energy. So if you wanted to resolve an issue, you had to find the correct energy to resolve that particular issue, whether that be emotional, mental, or physical.
¿Y cómo es esto de la energía en movimiento? Porque uno piensa o supone que esa energía que está en un punto, en la cabeza, en el corazón, en el cuerpo, está ahí nomás. Pero ¿qué pasa con el movimiento y la energía?
This is a very good practice, and the practices that developed movement and energy were the two main practices were the practice of Tai Chi and also the practice of Qigong. So the idea is they developed specific like choreographies so that the body had the ability to move very naturally, and in the process of moving very naturally, you would practice moving this Qi or energy through the body. And the idea that in time, then the body would respond by allowing the energy to move through the body freely. And if the body moves freely, the body can be very healthy. So in the Chinese system, they make it very simple. They say that there is only one cause of all illness, and that is stagnant energy. So then the lack of circulation would be the one cause for all illnesses.
¿Dónde nació Ron?
I was born in the States, near New York City.
Sí, me quedé lejos, ¿no?
It is. And I learned everything in the States. I never went to China. But there was a tremendous amount of very good teachers that came here after or before the Communist Revolution in 49. So after the revolution, it was very, very difficult in China to learn anything because they didn't let foreigners in.
Luego lo que estoy preguntando es que una disciplina, una ciencia milenaria, nos demuestra una vez más que el hombre siempre es igual. Que el hombre lo conmueve y le preocupan las mismas cosas, más allá de su cuerpo y este envase. ¿Quiénes se acercan al Tao curativo y por qué se acercan y no a otras disciplinas?
Yeah, I think that they come because it's relatively easy, and it's also very practical, and the premise is has one of great simplicity. It's one of the few systems whose goal is longevity, and I think that everybody that grows up with a human dilemma wants to live as long as possible. So if the system offers something about longevity and a happy life, I think that that's useful.
Uno piensa en la naturaleza, cierra los ojos y quiere siempre la naturaleza, pero somos casi presos de ciudades enormes, donde nos es difícil encontrarnos primero entre los hombres y después encontrarnos a nosotros mismos. ¿Cómo se hace estado curativo en una ciudad?
Well, because the center of the universe is really always inside. So you always have the ability to go inside. And this is the most difficult thing about living in the city, because the city appears to have everything on the outside. But sometimes people that live in the city realize that they have nothing on the inside. So at a certain point in time, you say, I have a dilemma. So the question is how to solve the dilemma. And the way we solve it is we give a lot of different techniques, a lot of different practices to be able to go into the inside of your own universe and find some kind of energy, or it could be translated into some kind of peace inside.
¿Y cómo se hace prácticamente? ¿Cómo es la práctica?
I think the easiest thing to do is just to begin to recognize that we are energy, and that the body is producing energy all the time, and by the same token, it's losing energy all the time. And I bet for a lot of people, that's really like a revolutionary way to look at the body. So if you pay attention through your awareness how you get energy and how you lose energy, what you're going to do is you're going to stop losing energy. So it's very similar to money. If you have a credit card and you keep spending more than you make, eventually you have a debt. Then the problem is the debt has interest. So not only do you have to pay off the debt, you have to pay off the interest. And then it's very similar in the health. After the body is very, very depleted, you have to pay back the interest, plus get back to health. So you're very, very careful about how you spend the money. So in a city, probably the biggest way we lose money is through the emotional energy. Everything is grabbing. People get very emotionally upset. And also the mind becomes chaotic. So if you look at the mind in terms of energy, the feeling in terms of energy, and then the body in terms of energy, you have a very practical formula not to lose so much energy.
Cuando uno es egoísta individual, en vez de ser un ser social y comunicativo y esa energía utilizada en el otro, ¿No tiende un poco la humanidad a eso? A estar más en uno que en los demás. ¿Y el Tao para qué me puede servir? El Tao curativo.
That's an interesting question. It's similar to, let's say, difficulty that government has giving money. If you always give the money to the poor people, eventually the government is broke. So the dilemma would be, how can you teach somebody something so that they can be independent, so that they're not responsible? So this system is unique in that way. It doesn't say that they're going to save you. It says that we're going to give you something that if you practice, it will help you.
Uh-huh.
So what the system offers is techniques to be able to work on yourself. And obviously not everybody wants to do it, because most people just want to be saved. But the system can't save anybody. All it can do is offer techniques for people to cultivate their own energy. So for those who are interested in cultivating their own energy, then they become responsible. So they're not a burden on the society.
¿Qué hacemos con las emociones?
Basically, what people can learn to do is not react. So there's a lot of practices in the Tao system to give people an opportunity to learn how to dissolve the emotions rather than express the emotions.
Usted recuerda, Ron, Un día de furia, interpretada por Michael Douglas. Esa película donde un hombre de la ciudad, las reglas de la ciudad lo superan. El tránsito, consumir cosas, y esa energía la utiliza mal. Destruye en vez de construir. Entonces, ¿cómo canalizar esa energía que a veces viene contraria en una actitud positiva?
Yeah. I think the main thing is to try once again to learn how to be simple. And the problem with the city is that the city has many different things to grab at your emotions. But from a Taoist point of view, because it came from nature, to say, what do I really need? You need a certain kind of safety. You need to eat. You need to be happy. You need to be simple, practical. So we actually don't need too much. But the city, because everything is like capitalism now, it always holds something up for you to grab. So it seems like there's always another thing that's going to make us happy. But if we just quiet down, we realize you actually could have happiness without grabbing anything. So this is always the human dilemma. It depends on how much you can give up grabbing and just go inside and realize that actually we have enough just being who we are. The grabbing is just extra.
Usted conoce la anécdota de Diógenes, que cuando fue al mercado se sentía muy feliz porque advertía que todo lo que veía no lo necesitaba. Si tendríamos que cerrar esta nota, esta entrevista, esta charla, y darnos una energía mutua para poder seguir pensando, ¿qué nos aconsejaría?
I think what we do is try to dissolve this mind with all the feelings and all the grabbing, and just go inside and get in touch with the body and connect the body to the heart, and just develop that kind of connection, and try to live as simply as possible. And from a Taoist point of view, the more simply you can live, the more energy you're going to get. So in the end, you're going to be healthier.
Muchas gracias. Lo mejor para